Is this on? Hey guys, it's Drew with Living History Comes Alive and Living History's Mysteries. You know, last night, Tuesday, July 6th, the wife and I went to investigate the cemetery that this video is pertaining to. We spent about 2.5 hours there, and orally and visually, we encountered very, very little about the cemetery. We heard a lot of things in the woods around us and stuff, but since the sun started to go down, we were seeing a lot of deer come out of the woods behind the cemetery in the fields and stuff. So we kind of, you know, prematurely debunked it as being local wildlife. And to be honest, we didn't really. I'll tell you what, you'll just have to watch the video, but I'm here to warn you that there was a lot more activity on site than what we gave credit to. You'll see in the video. Anything except the EMF readings that we got above a couple of the graves was the only real activity that we seen besides a little bit of EVP communication. A lot of the really odd stuff we didn't catch with our naked eye or our ear. You'll see. Hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, there we go. Whoa, Tiger.
Was someone behind me when I was complaining about the mosquitoes?
History left behind mysteries that we may never understand. We search for the answers. We strive to build our reputation as parahistorical investigators. Our team are professionals in our field, studying our history and searching for those answers. Regardless of what you believe, there are things that go bump in the night, and we're the ones who bump back. These are Living History's Mysteries. We're here tonight in the Evergreen Cemetery, formerly known as the Pokagon Cemetery, right here in Pokagon, Michigan. There's a lot of myth and legend about this little teeny tiny 4-acre plot of land. Everything from Native American spirits to possible shapeshifters. Now, the place is guarded by its one and only Civil War veteran, Charles McKinstry. He is clear back in the northeast corner of the cemetery. Let's take a look at his grave real quick. Charles C. McKinstry answered the call for Michigan troops during the Civil War. He mustered in Kalamazoo, Michigan for a one-year term of duty on March 7, 1865. On March 21st, he joined Company E, 24th Infantry Regiment in Springfield, Illinois, but for some reason mustered out in Detroit, Michigan on June 30th, 1865. No one really knows what happened to Charles and why he mustered out so early into service, or why Michigan troops were joining in with Illinois regiments. Nothing else can be found on Charles C. McKinstry or his life or term of duty. Okay, as you can see, there are a lot of old graves. Looking around, I could tell that the very last burial here was in the early 1950s. But there are burials here dating back to the 1830s and 1840s. A little history on this land. During the Black Hawk War, when the Potawatomi were camped closer down to Fort St. Joe in what is now Niles, Michigan, on the St. Joe River. People were afraid of the Indian uprisings crossing, since the Potawatomi on the west side of Lake Michigan were involved in the Black Hawk War. People automatically thought that the Potawatomi on the east side, in what is now the state of Michigan, were going to get involved. So they wanted to push them back from Fort St. Joe. So the military came up from Indiana, and they set up right about where the overpass is on 55 or 11th Street in Niles. And what they would do is they would shoot artillery shells north along Highway 62 up towards Cassopolis and Dowagiac. And what they did is they slowly would push the Potawatomi back from that location. There still today are cannonballs found out in the woods and stuff along Highway 62 on the outskirts of Niles. But they slowly pushed the Potawatomi northward into what is Pokagon, Michigan now. Now, they at one time had this entire area settled, but as Pokagon started to become a village and white settlement was happening, they slowly got pushed even farther north to where they're located at today. Now just south of Pokagon, out here on 55, you actually find Sumnerville, Michigan. And right across from the cemetery in Sumnerville, Michigan, are the Sumnerville Mounds. They were Potawatomi burial mounds. That's a little bit of the background and history on this area and why they were pushed away from the fort where they had been for almost 100 years. Nothing but fear. All right, the sun's down completely. I'm actually starting to hear things out here. It very well could be the wildlife in the area. There are a lot of deer around in this area. There's also turkey, but we're hearing a lot right here on the east tree line. So we're just going to wait and see. So far, we've had a couple of attempts at, I think, letting us know that we are not welcome here. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Either way, it's going to be interesting. All right, the cicadas are out here. This is the first cicadas we've heard all season. They were supposed to be thick as fog this year, and we just heard our first cicadas out here at Evergreen. There's not a lot of activity here. I'll be honest. According to the stories and stuff that I've heard, I've really seen very little. The crackling and popping of sticks and leaves in the woods could be wildlife. I just turned on the spirit box and nothing, just simple FM scans. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Oh. Whoa, Tiger.
Was someone behind me when I was complaining about the mosquitoes? When I was singing my mosquito song?
Pick that up. Take it away for a second. I want to make sure I'm not picking it up. I'm sure not. Oh, whoa. The Virgils are really active here. I've walked over this entire cemetery and got nothing but the lowest setting. Oh, holy crap. Hold it up a little closer to the microphone. Would somebody here like to speak to us?
What's your name?
Sounded like Chuck. Or Huck.
There's a Charles buried here.
Oh, yeah, that would. As a matter of fact, Charles is the Civil War soldier over here. I cannot believe this. I've never seen continuous sets like that. Would you like to talk to us? Is this Chuck? Wow. It's a SPS or SP7 voice box. Whatever's here is gone. Oh, hello. Is anybody here? We just moved from our other location. I'd like to know if anybody's here to talk to us. It's a grid. Anything flies through it, you'll see the lights move or pulse. Charles. Huh. Can you tell us about what it was like in the war? How long was you in? How long? I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I'm using a brand new light grid. What it does when it gets dark enough, it will actually project a dot grid out in the direction that the light is pointing, and anything walks across that light, it'll break the beam and be a signal to us that something is moving across the light grid or get knocked off. That was a raven.
Oh, that's what I said first.
But they're usually not out at night. All right, guys. Well, we got a little bit of EVP off of the FM scanner. Nothing on the grid marker. We're hearing things, but nothing intimidating, nothing frightening. I'll go home. I'll go through and scan through all the EVPs. I have to admit, the electromagnetic field strength that I was getting off the EM detector, that threw me. I have never seen EM readings that high anywhere, except when we went out and done the cemetery last year with the kids that we took toys to that had died during the Spanish flu epidemic. But it was nothing that constant and nothing that powerful. So something was obviously walking around and trying to communicate. But we're getting nothing. We're feeling no intimidation at all. So I am saying that that the legends and myths of this place is completely debunked. There's nothing scary here. I'll know more when we get the EMPs analyzed and figure out what they were saying. Hopefully next week, guys, when Mark and I are out, it'll be a little bit more to your liking. But that's it for here. Y'all have a good day. There's a lot more to this little forgotten cemetery than meets the eye. Upon editing, we found a lot more activity that happened around us that we didn't see while on location. It seems like the original keepers of the land still look over those interned here. It's a peaceful place where restful souls can spend the rest of eternity. I can't wait until our next investigation when Mark S. and I go back out and get 2021 fired up right. No clue what's going to happen, no clue where we're going to go, but I guarantee it'll be an adventure.